We call to order, and while we're standing, we'll just go ahead and do the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I got my head spinning around. I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
Roll call.
Peter Brian Nader,
Present.
Brandon Carrico,
Present.
Danny Clark,
Present again.
Chris Terry,
Here.
Mark McAfee is not here, Attorney Stephen Teeterball,
Present.
Clerk Treasurer Lori Carrico is present.
Y'all had a chance to look over the minutes from last month's meeting?
Yeah.
Motion to approve the regular meeting, then we'll need a motion to approve the special meeting.
I'll make the motion. I second.
Brandon and Danny, all in favor?
Aye.
That's covering both of them?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, next item, special events applications from last month. No, we did approve the over about call it the Patoka Bay Valley Eights community sort of to go down to the pavilion. That still stands for September 5th. They can go down there. That's been approved. They have not accepted that yet from us, but I do want to get a motion to close the following streets. Northeast First Street, Southeast First Street, and Railroad Street. There'd be a T. The roads would be shut off there. We were requesting East Main and East Church Street, but there's no reason to close them off because of the numbers on that. So, then they host it down at the pavilion. So
Before we get to that, just as a point of clarification, at the bottom of the minutes, it says that we tabled it for that event.
I'm reading a letter from their, looking at a letter from their attorney.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the Pride Fest for that event at the pavilion with the street closures.
Then you want a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Yes, Mr. Cannell.
Did you not turn the application down from last business meeting?
No.
Council meeting?
It was
It
tabled.
was,
No, it wasn't tabled.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not what I understood.
it was tabled, until this, because we were gonna give them the 30 days to come back and do application, change the application to.
To pavilion, yeah.
to the pavilion. We did not accept the application on the basis that it was for the, city park or pavilion. They did not, they wanted it on the square, so we did not
You
allow.
denied that application?
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
And gave them 30 days to come back and go to the pavilion or the city park. So that they have, said something about, they're waiting on something, but they did ask if, they go to the pavilion area, what streets, they requested some streets and I said, this is what we'll give you. And so that's what we come back to.
Is it all of Southeast First, or is it just to the Church Street intersection?
Church Street, it starts at Church Street, and goes north to the tracks, and then north from the tracks on Northeast First Street to East Main Street. Just makes a T there with Railroad Street.
Okay.
So Church Street will still be open, and also East Main. Okay. Utility adjustments. Everybody had a chance to look at them. Any discussion?
I'll make a motion, we accept the utility adjustments.
I second.
Okay, got a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Department head reports.
For the month of May, we had 86 service calls, 66 line locates, 284 office calls. The water plant was 13.8 million gallons treated, 444,000 gallons average per day, sold 13.1 million gallons. Wastewater plant was 24.3 million gallons, 785,000 gallons a day average, had 9.45 inches of rain, and was at 79% capacity.
Chief,
For May, looks like we had a total of 114 service calls. We only worked 8 accidents, so that's actually down from last month. We had only 3 arrests. Majority of them may contribute to our background checks for our new hires that we gave conditional offers to. And then we had 12 case reports, which is down just a few from the month prior. Like I said, most of our time was spent on these background investigations for these new hires. We did give 2 conditional offers out. Those were both accepted. I've sent their information off to our perf and pension plan to get their medical and physical scheduled. I'm waiting to hear back from them. And so I know in years past, we've always went to Evansville, but we've had some issues in the past where even myself, when I came on to get reapproved through the 77 perf, I had to go back down to Evansville on 3 or 4 different occasions because certain forms were either signed, doctors forgot to check off certain things, or certain paperwork wasn't documented properly. And I know initially my application got denied, and it was all because a doctor forgot to sign one of the last pieces of paper. So I understand things happen, but it was a continuous thing. I know that's been a habit with previous hires as well. So there's an entity out of Indianapolis, and sent them their information. All that stuff is done in one building, and then they send that off the same day. And they claim that, like, even on their website, it says from the time they do the physical and like the psychological testing, we should get our results within 10 days, which is a lot quicker than when we get anything from Evansville. Because what happens, Evansville will send it to us within 1 to 2 weeks, and we have to send it up to the pension board and wait for them to meet. And they only meet every Tuesday, and they give answers every Thursday. So it takes a little bit to get some of that time. So we're hoping that'll cut down on their time. Tentatively, we're hoping to get both the new conditional offers into the academy at the end of August. They do have spots open that I've actually reserved through the law enforcement academy up in Plainfield. So things are looking positive there. One thing that I have just briefly talked to the mayor about, one of the things we're struggling with right now is our computers, not only for our in-car computers, but as well as the computers in our stations. So the computers in our stations were actually, it was from our old IT guy that was here before. They were brought in by him, and I think it was something where they were refurbished even when we got them. So it's to the point now that when I've talked to Brady multiple times about this, Brady cannot get parts to even fix our computers. So we had 2 laptops that had just broken screens last year for the in-car computers, and he had to go to some third-party site, and he said it seemed sketchy to him to even have to get those, like, the pumps to repair the screen off our in-car computers. So I've um, gotten 2 different quotes from Taylor Tech. Uh, One was kind of, we were trying to get everything, so we applied for a grant. That grant, we did not get any money out of that grant. It was a grant out of Jasper, and I guess they had 285 that correct, Jared?
Something like that, yeah.
285.
It's the well-beings for others grant at adjustment.
So had 285 applicants, and they saw computers as not as high on the list as everyone else. But from my understanding as well, we did not not everybody got paid out in that grant as well. So we were just one of those that we applied for it, but we did not get it. So I do have a couple quotes now, and this is based on what Radio IT guy recommended. And I even checked Dell this morning to check the prices, and they seem to be in a little fluctuation. So I'm waiting to hear back from our rep with Dell to see if they can cut us any kind of a deal or see if they're willing to work with us. But initially, like I said, the grant that or the invoice that we apologize, not the invoice, the quote that we submitted for in-station computers as well as in the cars, and this was 6, so it could outfit what will be all 6 cars as well as 3 station computers, monitors, everything, all the works, was just under 25,000. Now, like I said, that's because we were applying for the grant. Brady said, "Hey, let's try to get what we can." So I went back to him and said, "We didn't get the grant. We're just needing to know what can we get by with, at least for right now, because we do need to at least get 2 new laptops. I know like my laptop for my car doesn't even work. So that's how we do all of our e-tickets or like any of our tickets when we run traffic. So right now, we can handwrite tickets still, but then that has to go through a whole separate process. But anyway, so not to bore you with those details, the quote that he sent me on the 4 laptops for right now, since we would, with these new 2 conditional offers, that would be 4 full-time guys, monitors for the station, docking stations, which we could take the laptops out of the cars and then dock them in it. So that would essentially be our in-station computer as well. And then just his billable time as well was just over 14,000. Now, like I said, I'm still working with Dell to hear back from them to see if they can cut us any kind of a deals. I mean, they already know that we're a public entity, but to see if they can give us any kind of public service pricing and see what we can deal with. But I at least wanted to make the board aware. I did notify the mayor that we're in dire need of computers, but we were hoping to get this grant, and then it wouldn't even be an issue where it had to come out of the city budget. So if anybody got any questions on that,
So the 14,000, is that Taylor Tech?
Yeah,
6 cars and 3.
So the 14,000, that's just four cars. And then it would be conditional based. Then whenever we get a 5th guy and then full time our 6th, then we would have to look at getting another 5th and then another 6th computer at that time.
But that's with docking stations, right? So
So like the docking stations, we've got it set up where we would have 4 docking stations in like our department. That way, whether it's my office, Jared's office, the squad room there, where Gianna sits, we could all actually have our own spot there. Now that 14,000 doesn't cover a new computer for Gianna, but like I said, that's something that I'm hoping by the end of the year I can have some money out of my budget to at least get her a new computer out of that.
Did you say you had other quotes?
So the other quote came from, and if you want to see this too, the other quote came from Taylor Tech as well, since he's our IT guy. The one single page. That's just the 4 laptops to get us by for right now. And then the other one was what we supplied or for the grant to see if we get that. And that had everything that he recommended if we could get the grant, which some of those things I don't see as a necessity by any means.
But you go high when you go for a grant.
Yes.
Dell, is that the preferred?
So the 2 computers that he initially recommended was the Dell Toughbook, which would help with some of those cracked screens we've had issues with. And then the other one was also a Dell ProBook, but there wasn't much difference in pricing between the 2 at the time. And at the time when we first got these quotes, before we even submitted this grant, it was between the 2 computers is about a couple $100 between the 2. So if we were going to get one, we were thinking, hey, the Toughbook would be the best one because your typical computer, you're looking at, based on what he told me, you're looking at probably 3 to 5 years on a warranty, depending on what you get. If you get an extended warranty with the Toughbooks, you're looking at an 8-year warranty. So yeah, we are spending more money, but the lifespan of that computer and the warranty with Dell is extended.
Are the tough books considered hardened?
Yeah, like they're drop tested. I know some agencies that use the tough books, and I know some agencies that don't. Some say they can't justify the cost. Some say they like it because they've had guys get in their cars and close their computer screens and just on even their laptops and it's cracked a normal screen. Well, with these tough books, it's also prevented that. So
Yeah.
I'm giving you the 2 quotes that he's given me so far, but like I said, I'm also reaching out to Dell. We've been in communications even today, trying to see if they have any other. Maybe it's not the tough book, but a lesser option that would at least get us by and could serve the needs.
So
of the
tonight it's just give forewarn and
I'm
what's
giving,
coming.
wanting to make sure you guys are aware, let you know what we're looking at and what's going to happen. Because, like I said, especially with these 2 new guys, once we get the process started and they get going, obviously I want to be able to have the equipment to supply to them. That way they know what they're doing as well. And it's beneficial when they're in the academy to actually have it, their laptop, have it set up. When I went to the academy years ago, it was all pencil paper and you didn't use a laptop. Nowadays, you got your basic students are walking in, they're taking their computers to the classroom. That's how they're doing 90% of their work. So,
But that doesn't address your broken one in your car, right?
not well. So if we get the 4, it would. Yes.
But that's later. You're talking about later down the road for them, right? I'm worried about the one that's broken in your car right now too.
So the one like our laptops, yours works some of the time,
Sometimes.
and it's one of those that they're close to 10 years old. So but before I pull that trigger essentially and purchase a computer, I want to see if there's any other better deal I can get from Dell. And I know that there's some other tough book companies out there that are somewhat comparable. Evansville PD uses a couple. They use a couple different kinds of tough books. So I actually reached out to a contact I have down there. He's supposed to put me in touch with their IT guy, so I can know exactly what they use and what they what they recommend and what they've had the best luck with, as far as not just on the job or ease of use, but also being able to have the longest lifespan too. Because I don't want to purchase something and spend a lot of money and then in 2 years come back to you and say, hey, actually, we thought this was a good purchase at the time. However, it actually was a dud and I need another computer. So, go ahead.
These laptops, you said they're docking, so they can go from the car into the office.
Yeah. So in the car, basically it was that laptop is your computer. Whenever you go to the station, if we get the docking system, basically you take your computer out, you dock it in that base essentially, and then we would still have computer monitors, which is why on that one quote for the little over 14,000, you still see computer monitors, and you're able to basically you have a separate keyboard, separate mouse, and just like I'm not an IT guy by any means, guys, but what I would consider the tower for your computer or like your brain,
CPU.
your laptop is now that CPU.
Yeah.
Essentially, for the patrol guys, save us from having to buy 2 or 3 desktops, which are way more expensive than docking stations for those guys.
Now the laptops will stay in the car in the office, right?
In the car, and then yes, and then if they have to do a report for the probable cause affidavit or whatever it might be, or any kind of case report, then they can either do that in their car. But then if they need to print, then so they're not using that carbon fiber paper, they can take their laptop out, come in, put it at the docking station, hit print. It goes straight to our printers and station, just like you would be printing from a desktop. So we turn our laptop into a desktop essentially when you're on station.
So if his and Jared aren't working now.
Yeah. I mean, so the reason I asked if they were hardened because they're supposed to be better. That it's more like a military grade type of thing. I don't know how the tough book kind of works with that when it comes to the hardened stuff.
That's what essentially the tough book is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the hardened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually they don't discount those that much. So
I know initially when Brady with Taylor Tech had talked to them, they quoted it at 2,600, and he was able to get them down to below 2,000.
Okay.
But that was only for so long. Well, by the time we submitted that or had that first quote, they said it would last for so long, even before the entry for the actual grade.
Right at 30 days, I called them back in the price.
Yeah, so they constantly change. I got on Dell today. The prices what they were last week to what they are today. They've even changed again. So at this point, I'm like, this is why I want to talk to a rep. I called, I spent on hold for about an hour and a half today and spent time actually getting our customer number, all this different stuff set up. And what we already have has already been set up in the past. So we can, I want to get the best bang for our buck and I want to get the best price possible. I don't want to just pull the trigger and be fiscally irresponsible with it.
So with the warranty, is that like a full replacement or is that?
Yes, from what I understand with
Very-
Brady, yeah,
very-
like if it's a battery, if it's something with the actual internals in the CPU itself, like if he can send it back, they can send a new one, and they're
But if
covered.
you drop it and run it over with a car, they won't cover it.
That I can't tell you.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, yeah. The only thing I ask is that, like I said before, with your budget,
Yes,
make sure, if you purchase something this year and it's an 8-year warranty, 5-year, make sure we have that in the
Yes.
budget for the next
Plan,
few
yeah.
years, yeah.
yeah. The mayor and I were talking about that as far as even other equipment and stuff that we need for the department having our plan phased out. So yes,
And I think you were leaning the same way. We want to get your computers fixed today that are broke.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
What can he extend an offer? Or
Why don't you guys take a look at going ahead and approving it
Yeah.
based on
And you get the right ones.
when he gets the right ones, that way we don't have to wait another month, at least
Yeah.
if he gets an answer back from Dell. And Taylor Tech's better, just giving the authority to go with whoever has the best
The
option.
better price, yeah.
That
Not
way
to
we
exceed
get that taken
15,000.
care of.
I'm
Does
good with that.
money come out of King Cap that was decided?
we hadn't
I
discussed
know,
that.
I know, Lori, you said we had,
Oh, sorry, I stepped out
that's
of
all
your
right,
way.
no,
There is money available there, yes.
so the money's there out of King Cap.
Do you wanna make that motion on it?
I'll make the motion that we at least replace the two that are
Get
broken.
it started, yes.
But I mean, if you can get a better deal, we'd be all for this docking stations and stuff, as long as it's
Not to
below,
exceed.
below 15,000. Yeah, I think we're good. You okay with that, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Thank you. One last thing. So on our salary ordinance, looks like the one that was approved for this year, talking about our new hires.
I'll give it to you at the end.
That works for me too. It says city will furnish all regulation clothing and equipment for new officers or new hires up to $2,000. So unfortunately, so I've been on the phone with Siegels, who is, in my opinion, it's the best bang for our buck too. It's close for our vests and everything. Had some issues with some other dealers we've dealt with in the past. If we have gear that will fit guys, then most definitely we're going to go, and it's in good shape. We're going to use that, and we're going to save the cost there. I've got a potential grant to sign up for like the new body armor. If we would have to, if say we have body armor that can't be resized and used for our new hires, if we would have to purchase new body armor for them, the grant covers 50%. If it's awarded, it can cover up to 50% of just the ballistic panels. So we would be responsible for the other 50%, and then we would be responsible for like the outer carrier that we wear when we're on duty or out on the road working. So it says $2,000. I would like the board's permission to try to raise that to $3,000. I know the previous administration had requested to put, I think I have $6,000 in that line item right now for this budget that nothing's been taken out of for new hire clothing allowance. Now, mindful, obviously, if I can get by and not use that money, I'm not going to use that. But obviously, there are things that do have to be new to we don't have boots that we can issue them. Like they're going to have boots that are issued to them. We had one of our previous hires that's no longer with us. He was a rather tall individual, so we didn't have anything that would fit him. So I just want to cover my bases. I don't want to go down there and then say, okay, well, it's actually going to cost you $2,200 for this employee, but we're going to get by with the other hire for $800, or just hypothetically speaking. And then maybe say, well, hang on, let me see what I can cut out of this for right now. Part of I got Seagulls working on a full item quote, but they've got to hear back from the vest company to see what the current market rate is on vest, which any ballistic panels, they go up. Everything is constantly changing. But as far as uniformity, things like that, we'll cover that baseline for what guys need. And if they want anything additional, then they can purchase that out of pocket. But on that baseline too, of what they need. Like I had them put handcuffs, things of that nature. The reason I say that, I when I came in and stepped into this role, I know that I had quite a bit of my own stuff that I was able to carry over and just use. So other than a few shirts here or there, I've been able to purchase. I already had my own stuff just because of the longevity that I've had in this profession. I'll use Assistant Chief Stuckey. So he's been promoted since then, so he'll have a new nameplate that's gold, but he was never even issued an old nameplate. With his previous department, he had to turn all that stuff back in, including his nameplate. But that's something we're required to provide to them, and that was never done. So I just want to make sure that we're not. I think that was the problem. I had guys coming to me all the time saying, "Hey, I was never issued this, never issued that." I want to have a standard across the board. Hey, this is what we're going for. If we have equipment in our quartermaster that we can issue out and cover those, then we're good. If it's still working in good condition. If not, then and we have to purchase it. That way, everybody's the same across the board. There's none of this. Well, I didn't get this item. I didn't get that, and everybody's got some uniformity.
Now, I know the mayor talked before you even came on board years ago about keeping the kit from the guys that leave and then try to utilize as much as we can of that.
Yes.
So, which would include the vests and everything.
Yeah. So if we can, yes, if we can reuse what we have, then most definitely we're going to.
Yeah.
I know before I got my vest reissued, I was able to wear Jimmy Hunt's. Well, I wore that.
Okay.
If I can reuse that stuff, then by all means, excuse me, then I will reuse what I can.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and spend $3,000 for every new guy. I mean, that's just, again, I think that's fiscally irresponsible.
Yeah.
But I want to, on that off chance, I get, the rarity that a guy doesn't fit any of the possibilities that we have, that I am at least covered.
Yeah.
In the long run.
And we have a pretty good supply of stuff back there that doesn't fit anybody.
We do, and there's a lot of stuff that we've had to clean out that's dry rotted and shouldn't have even been back there.
So any of that gear can be sold.
Unfortunately.
So it's gotta be in a public thing, but I have to look into that and talk to the city attorney and see what options we have there.
Oh, we got bed bugs out there so long.
But we would have to, I mean, we could do a motion to at least take this forward to the city council, to this all, as far as the money that goes to the city council,
Yes.
but definitely with the cost of the way everything is, we know that it's low.
You just wanted the account to go from 2,000 to 3,000.
That's what I'm asking, and by all means, if it doesn't get used, then it won't be used out of that budget.
Using your quartermaster, you already have as much as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll make that motion then.
My second.
All in favor?
All right.
Thank you.
There you go.
They got a meeting tonight.
Yeah, he's working.
Oh, yeah, back to the windows.
Get called out to something.
What did we ever come up with?
Well, it's in your.
There's a respected weatherman there today. I thought about that all day. A respected weatherman there today, and we ain't got no windows in our building. Senior system's just booming, and we've got no windows. Pole barn metal
Well,
up.
you're over there, okay?
That's
All
your
right.
responsibility.
You got me thinking.
Just want to bring everybody up to date. Started doing some striping downtown,
I seen that.
and we're going to continue to be doing that when the weather permits. Going to be doing West Main Street, probably somewhere. Well, we'll wait till after paving's done on Wood Street on areas, and then East Main, Wood Street on the west side or east side of 231. Gonna be getting around Mill Street, Southwest Third Street. So there's quite a few areas. Even on North Street, we have to do some more. Northeast First Street. So there's gonna be quite a bit of striping being done to help with the organization of parking instead of just having anybody park anywhere and however. So I just want to let the public know that that's going to start. It's happening now, and we're going to continue to do to get it done. You have anything else? Do you gentlemen have anything else? Yes.
I had one thing I brought up to you earlier too, and this kind of goes down what Danny was talking about is
The windows.
sort of, but, you know, when we have an area that we want to emphasize, improvement on and stuff, we typically do a TIF. And I would make a motion to try to do some type of TIF for the building where anything that's generated proceeds wise by the building, it's put back into the building.
Glad you brought that up, 'cause I had that on my notes and, I bypassed that there.
Okay.
So, actually, you don't have to do a TIF or anything, but what we need to do is, approach the city council that any of the rent money that comes in from the annex building goes into a fund set up for the annex building so it can be put back in for repairs or anything like that. So it's one thing we'll.
Well, the windows gonna be a big project, you know,
But at least this is a start.
but yeah,
So someone gonna make the motion on that.
make that motion. I'll
So
second
we,
it.
so we get your windows done, right?
There you go.
I hope. Not gonna live forever.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else?
They got the windows in the Alfredsville gym and nothing else.
I'm gonna ask for a motion to adjourn.
You see how nice
I'll make that motion.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Well, I even come to you.
Yeah.
We gotta sign those papers or she'll be screaming at us.
Yes.
I get tired of her yelling at me. False doors. She does.
We get the.
There you go, Brandon.
Dana gonna sign?
No, Dana's leaving.
Get him back here.
He's too good to sign our papers. Hey, Gerald, how you doing?
That hang meat in here. Call to order.
Yeah.
Council meeting. You all stand to do the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty.
Roll call.
Kate Smith,
Here.
Mark McAfee, not here. Chuck Holland.
Here.
Mike England.
Here.
Carol Radio.
Here.
Mayor Brian Ader.
Present.
Person Lori Kendall.
Damn.
You all had a chance to take a look at the minutes from last month's meeting to, so the motions are approved.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second. Mike and Carol, all in favor? I had a chance to look over the claim, any questions or anything, if not, ask for a motion for the claim.
I looked at them over the weekend. They seem pretty standard. I'd make the motion to accept.
Second. Go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
Under old business, really, we got one ordinance here. This is the ordinance, creating the one-way street from Main Street to North Street. And so need to get a motion to adopt this, because originally it was gonna go on Wood Street. So, get a motion to approve that one way. North of Main Street there on North Line Street to Wood Street, just that one block area.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Let you guys might sign that and go through here. Under new business, we don't have anything on the public works, board works agenda, but we do have another ordinance.
Yeah. This is an amendment to the ordinance to repeal and recreate establishing the regulation and cost for use of city property. The ordinance to repeal and recreate establishing the regulation and cost for use of city property is hereby amended as follows. Permitting procedure, paragraph 5, subsection 3 shall be amended to include that the prohibition on the use of any location within 240 feet of the center of the town fountain shall only be applicable to city property.
Motion.
You kind of means what in layman's terms.
Originally just for all property, we can't regulate private property, so it's just city-owned property.
It's just making sure that it's crystal clear that it applies only to city property and not private property of any kind.
I make the motion.
Dave, second,
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is the water tower contract, Albright Tower Services. With doing the repainting and on the water tanks and stuff, we have three towers or antennas on top of the water tower there. Mr. Albright has gone up several times. He does it for nothing and everything, but since we had to change some things on the water tanks this time with the antennas, it puts us in a different situation, his insurance. So basically what this is, it's being split between the Loogootee School Corporation, Civil Defense, and the City of Loogootee. We all have antennas up there, and he goes up for nothing. Basically, this is to cover his insurance. It's $922.50 per entity. So it's like $2,700 some odd dollars. So this is for a whole year. I know he's gone up in the past several different times, straighten the antennas up, fix them and stuff like that. So this is, after doing some more research, when you're climbing up on a water tower, you gotta have different insurance and everything like that. So I would ask that the council approve this, and we gotta go up there and get the one tower put back on and get all the cables and stuff secured, coming down the side of the ladder in different places. So this covers us for a year, basically just covering his insurance to do this for that year.
He is reconfiguring all that.
He's taking the ones off the, they're adding the one back up there for the civil defense. And he's gonna take cables that are there and re-strap them with stainless steel zip ties and make it all more rigid, because your other plastic zip ties that's up there not gonna hold up as well.
And he's taking it off of the one that was on the overflow tube on the left side of the ladder. He's gonna move it over to be within uniform with the other ones.
Yeah. Make it a lot safer than what it was originally, because we had some issues up there.
Then he had said something about the one that's the one tower or the antenna, the way when it was actually laying on the bowl. So he was gonna run it up higher on a different antenna and run it over, that way it was actually elevated and not rubbing the bowl. Risking damage in the paint, all that.
What about any damage that did happen to the tank? That was reconfigured.
that would be per his insurance. That's he had to get the liability insurance or whatever for it, and that's what this is covering it. So if there is any damages,
You know, if there's any paint left over that you can touch it up yourself.
well, I'm sure there's
without
probably
an
some.
insurance claim.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some.
You know, there's gonna be, you don't want any rust in your gun.
That's true.
That's something too that probably be found in October when they do their 1 year inspection. You'll know more for sure in October.
Yeah, we had discussions on all that as far as got tore up, who would be liable for it and all that stuff. So yeah, we did have that. Because that's why he had to go out there and get the insurance, make sure he's covered on everything.
I remember that discussion early on.
You know, and technically, you know, with that, you've got, like I said, Silver Fence, you've got the schools up there, then you have ours. So a place really around to have it, unfortunately, not that we have to have it up there, but they've been up there for so many years, so.
I'm glad it's done right.
Yeah. Well, you had your cables up there in the walkway and everything, which is not safe or anything, so it's putting it the way, from a safety standpoint, it's worth getting this done, having everything right.
Our share's $922.50.
What?
That's our share, $922.50.
Yes.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, last month we had a proposal by CHA to do a master agreement. And we gave that agreement to our city attorney to take a look over and everything, and we did talk about it. He was good with everything.
Yes.
So need to entertain a motion, if you want to entertain a motion to a master's agreement with CHA. Instead of anything, we do something right now, you gotta write up an individual contract. It just gives us the ability to have one agreement that's also set up not to exceed X amount of dollars and stuff like that.
Yes, I remember that discussion. I'll make that motion.
Okay. Motion by Mike. Second. Second by Carol, all in favor?
Aye.
Next item, pay application.
Thought we were done with it.
Well, this is for a new project.
Yeah, man.
This is on, our booster stations. The amount due at this point, it's, original contract price was $730,000. This pay application is $132,840. The Van Hoy construction.
This money comes from,
That come out of our bonds and stuff that we just,
already there.
yeah, the money's there. Trey, where are we at on, what's the progress on that?
We got the Smithville, I was waiting on the funds, blue on that one. It's $50, we're waiting on NDOT, trying to get a kind of temporary, right of way permit, so we don't tax there for the actual use of the property. Let's leave it that way, because we get that problem for that one, ready to go.
Okay. All right, thank you. So need a motion. Accept this pay.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next item, I got a copy of this with our lovely clerk proposal here, and I believe in it as well, but, employee benefit request. basically requesting that any help keep our employees here, just another added benefit to get a pass for the pool for their families, for them and their families.
I don't have a problem with that. They need permission.
Well, we need to put it in our employee benefit part.
Handbook.
So
Okay.
you do get access to some little swim.
It's like talking about like household members.
Yeah.
I make the motion.
I'll second.
Steve and Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
So talking about the pool real quick, I'll bring everybody up to speed on it. When we started to get the pool opened up, we realized found out that we have a major leak. We have tried several things out there, Bo and Daniel and that to try and figure out where it is. Hannah, we have no idea what the leak is at. Made the decision to keep the pool open because it's one thing that we have here. I do have a person coming in Thursday night this week, weather permitting, to go in and try to put some dye through it, do a few other things, see if we can't find out where this leak is at. But we have about 130, 120, 130,000 gallons a week. So it's huge. It is a lot of water. It's basically in the 10 weeks, we're going to drop about what both of our water tanks hold, which is about 1 million gallons. I talked with a couple of you guys about that when I see you and stuff like that, and the board, and just say, hey, that's where we're at. And this, we don't. He's also going to look at a new liner. Liner needs to be replaced on the pool. So I think we had 15 patches before we opened up this year.
So,
On the liner, we had a couple places that.
yeah, there were 3, 4 on the big pool, and I think I did 3 or 4 on the little pool even.
Yeah. So it's
So the repair won't be easy if you don't know where it's at.
no, the other thing we look at doing is capping some lines, put pressure to them, see if they bleed off or something. We don't have the equipment to do anything like that. They're just right. We don't know where to start. I know Bo and Daniel and I have talked. Bo's got some ideas where he thinks it might be, but it's under concrete and buried. So, I mean, basically, everything in the pump house goes directly on the concrete throughout the whole pool there. All your return lines, all your feed lines. So anything that has to be done to try to fix it. There's no visible leaks anywhere where we're at, where it's open. You're ripping out concrete and you're excavating.
Everything that was installed was backfilled with gravel, so wherever it may be, it's finding its way back to the original drain line under the pool.
So we have to try to figure out where it's at. So
If it is where I think it might be, you're gonna have to replace line anyway. There's gonna be under the concrete in the deeper end and the 6-foot end.
And I'm just gonna guess liners aren't cheap.
Washington just had theirs put in theirs. Our pool's 93,000 gallons.
95, 98 something.
Washington's is a little bit more than that. That liner down there was $140,000, and theirs is 120,000, somewhere in there, 100-some thousand gallons.
That's something that you need to budget in the future, because if you're lucky anyway, you can get 10 years out of the liner, and so it needs to be budgeted for the future set out whatever the liner is plus inflation for the next 10 years to plan on replacing it anyway.
I'm hoping technology comes out with all this other stuff that you can just do that silicone and just roll it on a, I don't do away with a liner, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen or come up with something like that, but it'd be nice.
So the repair, if all this comes to fruition, are you planning on having to shut the pool down or wait till pool season's over? That's another 3 months.
No, it'd be shut down. Let's see, you got July, beginning of August, when they go back to school, when we shut it down.
So you think you make it last that long?
Yeah. It'll last, we're just gonna lose water.
Is repair something we can do, or we'll have to hire outside?
Depends what we find out, but probably something we have to hire outside. Liners definitely outside, contractor. And honestly, when you're doing something like this, I think our guys could do it if we figured out what it was, but hire a contractor, and you've got a warranty and everything too. But we need to figure out what it is first.
There's about 10 different lines, or lines, electrical stuff, all in the same ditch.
Roll through the years, encountered something like this out there?
Might not, this, in the new league, it's just progressively getting worse. We've been dealing with it probably the last 3 years. We've been able to fix or reroute some things in the past, but this one's just a little more difficult. We have found to be precise.
See that?
That's what happened to the original pool. This thing's just got some age that it was shut down for a couple of years.
See, that's the original foundation of the pool, if I'm not mistaken, when it was put in 1958. And we're the only pool in the state that has the original foundation. Like I said, that was built in 1958. Now, when they went in and did the rehab 10 years ago, 11 years ago,
2015.
yeah, cut the top 2 feet off. That's when they redid all the lines and the gutters and stuff like that. But the actual everything below that's still original.
Except the main ground.
Right.
It was an 8-foot.
So I just want to bring everybody up to speed on that, where we're at, looking at, and find out what the bad news is or good news is later on this week. Hopefully something, but from there.
Probably gonna be an expensive fix no matter what. Correct?
Correct. Pools are not there every city. Your town loses money. I mean, it's an amenity, but it's like a camper and a boat. It's an investment the first time and expense every time after that.
Yeah.
So I want to bring everybody up to speed. Okay. Next item. AARP donation for the senior citizens. What that is, we just had that patronicity, and we want to thank everybody who gave money and brought that, gave the donations. We have reached our goal. If anybody still wants to give money to that, you greatly appreciate it, because there's always something. I mean, like our windows, with Danny, we go over that. So, but anyway, since we reached our goal from the match, we're going to get the full. AARP will give an additional $5,000 on top of that to the city. And it's been requested from the senior citizens, Mr. Tom Walker, that $5,000 donation goes into the senior citizens operating fund. Cause that's, and I don't see a problem with that. I think it's a great idea. Tom and his wife are doing a great job over there with a lot of the other volunteers. There's too many volunteers to name them all, but I'd like to get the motion from the council to, when that check comes in, for our clerk treasurer to write a check back to and put it into the senior citizens operating fund.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom and Gene, for what you're doing.
The last item I have is, what the chief was talking about during the board of works about upping the clothing allowance in the budget this time from 2,000 to 3,000. And that's something we discussed during budget, but at least I can bring it up with you guys. Make a motion that we do that in the budget. Is that not a motion, Mike?
I don't have a problem with it.
I say,
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, Dave, all in favor? Anything else?
they're gonna look into those computers for the cars and
Yeah.
get that going.
And you guys are okay with that they go ahead and buy the computers, what they need, once they figure out what's gonna be the biggest bang for the buck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's you're okay on everything?
Thank you, gentlemen.
And we don't have to wait another month.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's a motion from Dave and Mike. Well, that's it. All in favor?
Aye.
When is milling and paving gonna start in the city?
They're supposed to let us know. The range, probably sent them back. I think originally they were looking at, well, this is the second week.
Well, they called all their road gates in last week, so
They're restarting.
should be anytime.
So how long of a project will this be?
Depends on the weather. They can mill everything in a week. And then if they get the next week, depending on what's going on, they can get a lot of stuff. But they gotta there's a lot of, storm sewer work there. There's a lot of sidewalks that's gonna be taken out and replaced. So I'm gonna say we could say anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. And I'll try to get a more definite time and do a video on it. But, once they get started, cause like on Wood Street, you're doing all new curb and sidewalk plus filling on the first block, and then from Walker Street up to the school, that's all new curb and sidewalk plus paving.
Is that
Southeast-
area up there near the residence we've been discussing for the last few months gonna be a part of that, getting that remedy?
On Walker Street?
No, up in,
Country Club.
Yeah.
Here.
No, it's completely different. Completely different. That's, through the contract last year when they were doing the stuff up there.
what's the time frame on that?
Probably within a month. I'm hoping to get it within a month. Southeast Third Street's got a culvert being replaced. There's also sidewalks and I think they're putting a curb in there, one area there to help direct water coming down the hill. So there's sidewalks and all that going up through there, plus widening the streets. Then
August culvert and storm work on Walnut and
5 or 6 culverts and stuff that's gotta be replaced on Walnut Street.
Is, all right,
When they do, Wood Street, are they gonna be working on the drains and stuff there too, or? That's, problem there. If the drain.
Well, everything's gonna be on the east side of Wood Street. Now, we did talk about that in the Board of Works. We're gonna have to take a look at we don't know what we have there, so we're gonna have to take a look at really what we have. Probably do some excavation and stuff.
It's not drained there at all.
So, but yes.
Big can of work, we just don't have any work.
Is there anything on the grant funding yet on our project?
No,
No.
haven't heard anything. We would have, not heard anything on the proposed SRF fund.
wasn't supposed to hear until July, was it?
Well, we thought we were gonna hear something, in May, but
they released where you ranked in the thing, but they didn't release how far down in the rankings they're releasing money.
So you know where you are, where we are?
Yeah, well, we're about, what was it, 52, I think, or no,
well,
that was the
that's
first one
actually the one that sent me was,
for the project that's going on now, but he sent the other new one, and it was actually like 36, I think is what it was. So,
Out of how many do you know?
well, there was 200 and something, I think.
so we got a lot of things going on. The apartments are really coming along down there.
I understand they're gonna be ready in November.
Maybe.
100% sure.
Hmm?
100% sure.
Pretty straight.
The, all
Yep.
depends on what happens. With weather-wise.
Well, they got dedicated crews. Most of the rest of the work's inside. The only other thing I wanted to bring up, I've been hearing a little bit about the speeding on Bloomfield Road. I think tickets ought to just start being issued to everybody. Warnings ain't working.
Well, our computers were down.
Our
Chief, started giving them bail up.
chief, have you guys written warnings or?
He may stop even, since you've done, you've actually issued citations. So,
Yeah, it's bad out.
Yeah, it is. I've been driving my golf cart out there. It's like
Two-man machine right now.
Oh,
I
know.
know.
You guys are
I
still
understand.
Also, I want to make aware that we realize we're paving these roads. We know we have other roads that have potholes and things like that, and I'm waiting for the asphalt guy to come over and take a look at, because we know we're gonna have to spend some money this year up above and beyond what we use for match money to fix some of the roads that need to be done. Walker Street's part of it. West William Street's part of it. I mean, there's places all over that need to be milled and patched, so we are gonna be addressing them. It's just a matter of everything coming together. So I know we've been out patching a lot of potholes and stuff, but we're gonna have to do some milling and should be laying some asphalt to fix some of these areas. Anybody have anything else? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, don't forget to sign the